Hi, my name is Maria5. Welcome to my channel if you're new. Welcome back to my channel if you're not so new. I'm here today with a tea and a book and a make. So, without further ado, the tea today is called Jet Lag Awake Strawberry. And it's from that place in Red Deer, Glenn's Family Restaurant. And it's green, sorry, I'm just going to read the ingredients here because I don't have them memorized. Green tea, green mache, ginostena leaves. I hope I said that right. Strawberry and papaya pieces and natural flavors. And it's, it's a green tea, but without the bitterness to it. I've added a little bit of honey to it, and I've just got a rather spring-like cup. Yeah, it's getting into Easter, Palm Sunday tomorrow. Yeah, my Easter cup I actually used last Saturday, not thinking about it. So this is what I've got this week. And so the tea itself, I don't think I would recommend drinking it like at midnight. If you're even up by then. I usually am. I'm a night owl. But I don't think I'd recommend drinking it too late at night. But it does have a rather delicate flavor. It's not bitter. It's quite tasty. And it's, I think, a rather good alternative to caffeine if you don't drink a lot of coffee. And I'm not saying I never do. I do drink coffee. But it's so rare. And it's usually a latte or cappuccino or a mochaccino or something like that. Almost never coffee. So there you have it. I am definitely a tea drinker. That's me. That's okay. The make here I have is, do you remember those little things I had with David's tea? Okay, so I've repurposed them. And this is a lotion. So yeah, you can see it there. You can just scrape it up with your nail or your finger if you don't have nails, of course, but I do. And yeah, it's really nice. It's beeswax and jojoba oil. And I have used ylang ylang because that is one of my favorite scents, but you can use any scent you'd like. Yeah, and it's really a little bit on the protective side, I think, because of the beeswax. And just I used basically a double boiler and just melted everything on the stove. The only thing I will say about this is I kind of played around with it. This was actually my third go. It's not as much beeswax as you think. The first time I made one, I covered the whole, basically filled this with the beeswax and then let the jojoba oil sink through all the little holes and spaces. And then added the essential oil for scent, and that was you could not move it. It was not so good. So the second time I did it, obviously it was less than that, and then this is the third time, and I got it right. So it's less beeswax than you think. Just those little, the end caps of the honeycomb. That's what I've used here. So yeah, it's really nice. There is a definite ylang ylang smell to it. You can definitely smell it, but there's also that scent of the honey. So it's, yeah, I really like it. Homemade, definitely good. I'm thinking I could probably figure something out for a lip gloss for the winter other than, the commercial chapstick, which is, well, I have the EOS and the chapstick, commercial stuff, but I'm thinking there's got to be a way to do that. So I will play around with that next. And then the book today, this week, is called The Fury by Alex Michaelides. So I will link the last one down below, but I did something a few months ago now called The Silent Patient. And that book, I walked away from it a little bit stunned, a little bit dazed, and yeah. But that was 2022, kind of the far end, the far reach of basically what I like to do on this channel. I try to keep it, 2022 is like the cutoff. So that ideally you can still find, I use the library for everything, but ideally you can still find it in bookstores. That's the goal. I mean, not that I spend any money on books, but I know an awful lot of people do. So yeah, I try to keep them fairly current without actually running out and buying new releases. That's just me. So, The Silent Patient really had me, I don't know even what the word was. Like I was a little bit dazed. Yeah, dazed. And it took me a while to sit down here and bring the vlog to you because I was so, I don't want to say unnerved, but yeah, maybe unnerved is a good word. Yeah, the unreliable narrator. He does it so well. Oh my goodness. So, The Fury, 2024. No, yes, 2024. Alex Michaelides, and he did not disappoint. He did not let me down. But I was just a little bit more prepared for it. I wasn't completely speechless when I finished it. It didn't let me down either. So, without further ado, Easter weekend on a Greek island. That's why I've got the nails with the Greek. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good shot. The Greek evil eye, just to ward away evil. And that's what's on the cover of his book. And so, of course, that's what inspired me to do my nails like this. And so we have, it's a little bit like an Agatha Christie, a little bit like the wedding guest. You know, there's a contained finite amount of people on an island. So nobody's getting on or off. 7 people, private Greek island. We have Lana, who is a very successful but retired actress. Leo, her son. Jason, her husband. We have Agatha, which is her cook, and I'm just assuming that that is a little tribute to Agatha Christie. We have Nikos, which is the gardener. He's the year-round, lives on the island, takes care of the place, and very much a recluse. You have to be to live on an island with it's just you. It's not a big island either. And then Kate, which is her best friend, and then Elliot, who is the narrator of the story. So, as with any good murder mystery, it was a dark and windy night. Not stormy, windy. Now, the Greek word for windy is Taurus, and Taurus translates to the fury, hence the title of the book. I mean, how would you know this? You wouldn't necessarily know this. So I don't know that it was all, I don't know. I don't know that it was all that well named. However, the fury also can come from Greek islands, the Furies. And the Furies are the Greek goddesses of vengeance, particularly for crimes like murder and oath breaking. So, I sadly had to look all that up. I'm not that familiar with Greek mythology, you know, and the gods and the goddesses. My son from like age 7 or 8, like knew everything. Like it would just astound me listening, like, but he's memorized all this. Like he knows this. And if you were one of those people, you would be up on it, but I wasn't. I had to look all this up. And not that it did me any harm, but I think I might have got just a wee bit more out of it had I had that knowledge going into it. So there you go. You have that knowledge going into it, should you choose to read this book. Okay, so we have a very stormy, windy night. There's no rain. That's why it's not stormy. It's just windy. The Furies. It's starting to pick up. And Agatha, she says, oh, the wind is going to pick up. It's going to be really windy. There's the Easter getaway. And the book is a very interesting delve into the relationship that all these 7 characters have with each other. Not quite Downton Abbey, but... Okay, so Kate and Jason are having an affair. And Elliot has been documenting this and pictures and notebooks and notes. And so he's aware that they're having an affair. And Lana is just found out that they're having an affair. So we have that as kind of the basis of the story. So things were going to culminate on the island during this 4-day secluded Easter weekend. And it's interesting because Michaelides does this sort of a twist, because the whole story is in 5 acts, just like a Greek tragedy. And he made mention of this somewhere through the novel, something about the Deus ex machina, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is Greek. So I looked it up, and sure enough, that was the whole basis for how the story was laid out. So in the beginning, you have the introduction, you have the main characters, and you have the setting, and things are going to happen. In Act 2, the plot thickens, tensions are explored, there's a layer peeled back of the characters, and you get intrigued. Act 3 is the climax. Act 3 is the dead body. I'm not going to say much more than that, but Act 3 is where the dead body, which is not normally how novels are done. Normally, it's much, much, much later. The climax is right before the denouement, the ending, where everything gets resolved. And in the Greek tragedy, it's Act 3. It's the height, like the apex of the story. And then Act 4, we have the unraveling, and Act 5 is the final consequences and the moral reckoning. I'm not going to say too much more than that, but hopefully I've given you the background and enough intrigue to definitely get a hold of this book and read it. It did not disappoint. It definitely did not disappoint. But if you are so intrigued, if I have captured you just a little bit, give it a shot. And then let me know down in the comments below what you thought of it. So, happy Palm Sunday. Thank you for joining me. Please like, please subscribe, and I will see you again next Saturday. Bye-bye.